Hello everyone, this is a Happy Anime Cafe Manager here with another walkthrough episode. So for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Okay, so it's gonna take a while for me to complete each case. So it makes it so as you progress through the game, each case will take longer and longer to complete. Okay, in the last episode, Phoenix cross-examined Mr. Saul Whitton. He claims he saw the corpse of Cindy Stone at 1 p.m., but Phoenix has found a contradiction in his testimony. Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was nobody defined at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? It's trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Solid, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? That's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Okay, the next witness testimony is the time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. When I first played this game on the DS, I didn't really own the game. I rented it. I mean, the first case was pretty easy. I never got penalized. And I bet you could get through the first case without getting penalized. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Okay, it's cross-examining time. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. Video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True. Right. I think the problem lies someplace else. We're agreed that you heard the time at the scene then. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Oh, but there was... I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a TV program. Anyway, here's a record of the blackout. Okay, Solwit said he thought it was the time was 1 p.m. and it's assumed it was from a tape program from a video which is played on a television. So he heard 1 p.m. from a television, which explains the 3-hour gap. According to the blackout record, the electricity in the Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of this discovery, and the record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Solwit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait. I remember now. Mr. Solwit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Solwit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. The next testimony is hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness gladly. Alright. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered that table clock. A table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? A table clock. Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something fishy here? Yeah, it is. That must have been what I saw. Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? I guess it just slipped my mind. I'm not really sure how it happened myself. The witness says he saw the table clock. End of story. Now, find the contradiction. He says the murder weapon was a table clock. But as far as the court sees it, the murder weapon was a statue of the thinker. A statue type of weapon. A statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? With your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Solwit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I could prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. It was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Solid, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. Shut up, I hate you. Oh, man. I just love it when these characters lose in court. Oh, man. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Solid heard was definitely this clock. A fact is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely discrepancy between Mr. Solid heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Solid, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Solid. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happened. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all swine. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I could do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Stallwit. Chief. Listen up, Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody could prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes. One other evidence was submitted on the day of the murder. From the day of the murder. Wait, maybe I could prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that could prove it, Wright. Find it and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that could prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough work. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 11 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Solid, or should I say, Mr. Did It? Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Foote, not guilty! Even in the live-action movie, when the defendant has been proven not guilty, they even celebrated with confetti. I just thought it was very funny. Anyway, the first case in the movie was just very brief. And with that, the court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Stallwitz was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Stallwitz let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Stallwitz grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Phew! I still can't believe we won! Right? Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong? What's wrong now? Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good? Wait, no. I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlights now. Harry Butt's innocent. Sounds like Harry Butt. As in hair coming out of the butt. In plurally speaking. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry, are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend, something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You'd think so. It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks! Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we could do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink to a toast to innocent Butt. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime, maybe, over drinks. And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Well, that's the end of Turnabout 1. A brand new episode has been added. Alright, so I got less than 5 minutes to spare, but I'm willing to end the episode a little early, so then next week I'll get around to playing through episode 2, Turnabout Sisters. So expect there to be multiple half-hour videos of that case. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next week. To be continued, baby. Oh, and by the way, the live-action Ace Attorney movie was actually pretty good. It's a little enjoyable to watch. Anyway, as they reach the important. I'm not going to spoil it, so you're just going to have to see the movie for yourself. Later.